Okay, so FBG Duck gets killed a few months before King Von gets killed. And you've put Duck on this list of Von's victims. So was it 7 people that got arrested over the FBG Duck murder?
7 people implicated.
Yes.
One of them was dead before the arrests landed. Right. That was Zell.
Killed himself, right?
Yeah.
That's what they say.
I know. I've got a little short video coming on him, so I know a lot about that situation. So I can talk about that, but yeah, it might not be that relevant.
Okay, so ultimately the trial happens with the O Block 6. They were all found guilty. They haven't been sentenced on this date, but from what I understand, these are mandatory life sentences. Now, from what I understand, one of the guys whose girlfriend Duck was sleeping with called up the other guys and said, oh, Duck is out here. He pulled out a gun on me. He's chasing me around. And then they all posse up and then they go and kill him.
It was Teasy, yeah.
Teasy, exactly. How does this tie into King Von putting money on his head? And if that's really the case, how come that never came up in trial on any level?
There's a lot of stuff I'm surprised it didn't come up in trial. So you know the Took Her to the O video, the music video for Took Her to the O by King Von. In that video, he's got an actor playing FBG Duck that he kills on camera and leaves dead in the street. Now, I say this in the video, and I've said this so many times, I cannot stress enough to people, how crazy is it that this guy made a music video in February 2020, where he depicted himself killing FBG Duck. He says a big goofy dude, missed calls on the phone, say Duck. He says Duck. The guy looks like he's killing Duck in a music video, and 6 months later, Duck's dead in the street, laid out exactly the same way. I do a side-by-side of, they left Duck the way that Duck was in the Took Her to the O music video, right?
Yeah,
I'm not saying, but what I'm saying is like I feel like people don't realize how crazy that is. So Duck and Von had been going back and forth for years, right?
Yes.
There'd been these rumors that, way, way, way back, like Duck had like beaten up Von on the school bus or something.
Right,
like,
and there was also Duck dropped the Dead Bitches video right before he got killed, where he talks about all the O Block guys who are dead.
T-Roy specifically, who was
T-Roy specifically, and King Von was calling himself V-Roy on his Twitter. That was how close those two were.
They were best friends. T-Roy taught King Von how to move in the streets. They were best friends. He was going by V-Roy. T-Roy was sort of infamous as, the big killer for O-Block during that period. But the thing with Duck, just like KI, it was personal. They were going back and forth for years. Like, Von and them had been trying to kill Duck for years. And to be honest, Duck was the trophy. And, you even said it yourself in that interview, like, you told Duck that he should have moved out of Chicago, man.
Twice.
It's tragic that he didn't, but
Twice.
It's like, he really was the trophy. He was the biggest GD. He was the biggest guy from 63rd, the biggest guy from STL. He was the hood trophy. Regardless of whether it Took Her to the O or Dead Bitches, I don't think there's anybody they could have killed that would have made them happier than FBG Duck, unfortunately. And the real unfortunate case is it seems that Von got on and was making millions through his music, or at least hundreds of thousands at this point, and he was putting that money back in the streets. He's on video going back to O-Block, giving everybody cash. Now, look, I don't think that cash was going into stocks and bonds. Okay, I don't know where that cash that Von was breaking down for the gang in the hood was going, but Von loved his gang. He loved the gang war. He loved rapping about it. He loved rapping about murders. I think Von seemed more happy when he found out Duck was dead than having a hit song, to be honest with you. Like, that's just the impression that I get from his music, the way that he acted. There's that clip of him. He's in a designer store with one of the guys from O-Block, and it's like 2 days after Duck's dead, and he's like, ain't no more FBG. And he's like, he's like, guess that Duck's dead. And like everyone in the comments saying Duck's dead. Even before Duck, I think maybe like a couple weeks before Duck died, Von's on Instagram Live singing Slide, like Duck's song, making fun of him. And just being like, yeah, he's goofy, like, yeah, fuck this guy. Like, it was so personal. I don't think there's anything I think Von having a platinum record was like a drop in the ocean compared to how great he must have felt trying to kill FBG Duck. 10 years they've been looking for FBG Duck, these guys. That's how I feel.
Okay, but why did this not come up in trial?
I don't think it needed to.
Out of all 6 guys, nobody said this guy who's now dead put up this money. And that, I guess it doesn't really help you.
Yeah. If Von was alive...
Taking money for a hit, I guess, doesn't really say, oh, okay, well, you're free to go then.
If Von was alive, I think they would have thrown all of that in there. But I think because he was gone, and they had him all on camera, so it's like, when it comes to the feds, it's like, well, we've got all this kind of conjecture stuff going on here. They had them all on camera doing that shit, going from their homes to the murder and then back. They didn't need any of that stuff. It was cut and dry. Just that surveillance footage kind of did the job. So I don't think they needed that. I think if Von was alive, bro, Von tweeted a goat emoji, like, we're talking like 30, 40 minutes after Duck was killed. And then he's just tweeting all of this cryptic stuff that's like, you know, it's over with, you know, ain't no more FBG. I think he was just so gassed. And to me, like, the real nastiest example is that 2 days before Von died, or maybe 1 day before Von died, he's in that interview with DJ Academics, and Academics is like, oh, you know, what do you think about FBG Duck? And he's like, man, you know, I couldn't sleep at night after that happened, man, you know. And he's trolling, and then he's like, hang on a second. He's laughing off camera. You can hear him laughing. Like, you can see BJ in the back, like for a split second in that video, like, and, you know, he starts eating cereal out the box. Like, that's psychopath behavior.
You said eating the cereal is alluding to him being a serial killer?
Yeah, he had a bunch of tweets as well, like years ago, back when he was catching the bodies, saying, I'll shoot an N-word and eat some cereal. And he used to have these tweets where he'd be like, I don't think you understand how much I love cereal. Now, to be honest, like, look, that's not proof that he's a serial killer by any means. But I just feel like the guy kept making these little references to cereal. And there was always rumor, like, this is a funny thing, right? People are like, oh, I can't believe Traplaw Ross put the jacket of serial killer on Von. Watch the first 5 minutes of that video, of that documentary, and I play a clip of Academics saying, I think Von might be a serial killer from way back. So I'm not even the first person who said it. Von had ops. I can't remember who it was, but there's someone in an interview that's like one of Von's ops, and they're doing an IG Live, and they're like, bro, Von was damn near a serial killer. Like, we were terrified of Von pulling up. So it's like, that had already been said. So it's not like I came up with the whole serial killer thing. Like, Axe said it before me. There's a stream that predate my video where Axe going, damn, Von might be a serial killer. So it's kind of like, sorry, I lost my thread there, but yeah, that's kind of how I see it.
Well, according to your research, did FBG Duck kill anybody, or was it just songs?
I've not seen any evidence that, like, I've not seen any kind of theory or anything that Duck had killed people. I understood that he'd shot people and that he was definitely involved. His brother, FBG Brick, who obviously was killed by essentially Von's friends, by the looks of it. Yeah, that murder's still unsolved, but obviously Duck's mother's saying that maybe there's going to be some updates. There's a lot of rumors that maybe some of the people were known people from O Block or 600 that aren't even alive anymore. But, you know, Duck's mother even says, like, Brick was really in the streets like that. Duck was doing shit and shooting people, but as far as I know, Duck hadn't killed anyone. But he was, before Ruger did GD's Anthem, Duck was the face of the GDs in Chicago.